Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to show you the best XP farm for Endgame, meaning after you have already defeated the Paintress and obtained the painted power Pictos. Using this XP farm you can get an average of 1,300,000 XP every 30 seconds, which is an insane amount of XP. You can use this farm to level up all of your characters to level 99 in a short amount of time, and not only that, but this is also the best farm in the game for grandiose chroma catalysts, which you need in order to upgrade your weapons from level 20 to level 32. The location of the XP farm is in the Dark Shores area, which you will gain access to immediately after defeating the Paintress. This area is very small and it is full of noir enemies, which are very tough and give a very large amount of XP when defeated. One noir enemy will give you 295,000 XP, two of them will give you 591,000 XP, and 3 of them will give you 887,000 XP. What you want to do is focus on killing the group of 3 enemies, which will give you 887,000 XP. Since we are aiming to do this without taking any damage, you will actually get 1,291,000 XP after completing the battle with 3 enemies. In order for the method to work as best as possible, I highly recommend you go and obtain the Chevalam weapon for Verso, which can be found by defeating the final boss of the Crimson Forest map. Using that weapon, you can guarantee that you finish the battle in one single turn, regardless if you have all the other Pictos that I am using, and regardless if your weapon is of high level or not, resulting in a clear time of around 30 seconds. Without that weapon, you can still do it in one turn if you have a fully upgraded weapon. Worst case scenario, it will take you 2 turns, which is still extremely fast. I also recommend you go and obtain the cheater Pictos, which you can get by defeating Sprung. You will need to get this anyway to make your playthrough easier, since it allows you to take your turn 2 times in a row every time. It's the best Pictos in the game and a must-have. Once you have obtained the weapon and the Pictos, it's time to set up your team. The key team member for this method is Verso, due to his Phantom Star skill, which deals a lot of AoE damage and can also break targets, resulting in a stun. This skill normally cuts 9 AP, but if you are at rank S, it cuts 5 instead. For this reason, if you have both the Chevalam weapon and the cheater Pictos, you can use this skill 2 times in a row during your first turn with Verso. This is what enables you to instantly stun all enemies and even one-shot them on your first turn. In order to boost the damage of this ability as much as possible, we are using CL's Fortune's Fury ability, which doubles the damage dealt of the selected ally for 1 turn. We are also pairing this with all the possible damage increase and break damage increase Pictos we have available, in order to deal as much damage as possible in 1 turn and ensure we are stunning the enemy. For the third character, you can use anyone you want, but my preference is using Mael because she is the strongest character in the game, and using her Fencer's Flurry skill guarantees I can one-shot the enemies on Verso's first turn. When it comes to attributes, focus on luck for the highest critical rate possible and any other attribute that your weapon scales with to get as much damage as possible. Make sure to upgrade your weapon as much as possible, or just use any high level weapon you have in your inventory in case you don't have Chevalam already. When it comes to Pictos, the only one you need to have on all 3 characters is Cheater. For Verso, you want to have the following Pictos activated: Augmented First Strike for 50% more damage on the first hit, Breaker for 25% increased break damage, Confident Fighter for 30% damage increase, Critical Break for 25% increased break damage on critical hits, Critical Vulnerability for 25% increased critical chance on defenseless enemies, only if you are using Mael on your team, Glass Cannon for 25% damage increase, Immaculate for 30% damage increase, Inverted Affinity for 50% damage increase, Painted Power for exceeding the damage limit, Teamwork for 10% damage increase, Cheater for playing twice in a row, Energizing Start for +1 AP on battle start, and Energizing Break for 3 AP when breaking an enemy. For the 3 equipped Pictos, use any high level Pictos you have that give you a critical rate, since you want this to be as high as possible. Even if you don't have all the Pictos I just mentioned, just use any of them that give you any sort of damage increase and the method will still work. Another crucial thing is the speed of your party members, which will impact the order in which they will take their first turn. You want to make sure that Verso goes last and your other 2 characters can go in any order. In order to control in which order your characters go, you have to control their speed stat by equipping Pictos that give you speed and adding or removing points from your agility attribute. You want to make sure that your Verso has the lowest speed stat out of all 3 characters, and if you are using Chevalam, you have to take into account that Verso will always start the battle with the rush buff, which increases your speed by 33%. An easy way to ensure that your Verso has the lowest speed is to only equip one or at most two low-level Pictos that give you speed, ideally having it lower than 2000, and then use 3 high-level Pictos with speed for your other 2 characters. The effects of the 3 Pictos you have equipped are not that important, so just use whatever you have to make sure Verso goes last. Now you are ready to begin. From the resting point, facing forward, start running towards the destroyed ship until you see a small space where you can go find a group of 3 noir enemies. Approach them and press your attack button to initiate the fight and make sure you take the first turn. When the battle starts, regardless of who your first character is, the first thing you want to do is open the items menu and use an energy tint on Verso, so ensure he starts with 9 AP on his turn. After that, if your first character is any other than CL, use any other available party buffs you might have equipped. In my case, I am using Mael's Fencer's Flurry ability to apply defenseless to all enemies, making them take more damage. If your character is CL, use her Fortune's Fury ability on Verso, then end your turn or use any other ability you want. Now, when you reach Verso, you should have 9 AP and be at rank S due to the Chevalam weapon. You will also deal double damage during this turn. Simply use your Phantom Stars ability, which should cost only 5 AP, and it should deal enough damage to stun and even one-shot all 3 enemies. In case the enemies have survived your first Phantom Stars, just go ahead and use another one during your second turn. This should guarantee a kill in almost all situations. Even if you are not able to kill them all during Verso's first turn, they should all be stunned anyway, so you can get a free second turn where you can kill them. Completing the battle without having taken any damage will reward you with almost 1.3 million XP and 3 grandiose Chroma Catalysts. Keep repeating this by going to the resting point and respawning the enemies, and you should be at level 99 with fully level 32 weapons in no time. Once you have upgraded your weapon to level 32, you can do this even faster by swapping Verso to be the first in your party, and then simply using his Phantom Stars immediately when the fight starts, which will stun all 3 enemies and give you 9 AP in return due to the energizing break Pictos, allowing you to use Phantom Stars a second time on the same turn, killing all 3 enemies. This will result in a 20 seconds clear time, meaning you can get around 2.6 million XP per minute, which is just insane. That would be it for this video. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments and I will see you in the next one.